You before briefly mentioned looking for clients or like a need to actually find clients. So now, after experience, what would be your advice for people, whether it's to find first clients or struggling to find clients on the platform?
I think that I mostly interact with people that are struggling to find clients, and they're usually already trying to use the platform to find them, but like they're just sort of like missing something in some sort of way. So the advice I always give them, like especially in my field, because in design there's so many designers, like they're everywhere.
It's like new ones emerging every day.
Yeah, so there is a lot of designers out there. It is hard, but figuring out that way you can differentiate yourself and just being a personable person makes such a big difference. Because if you can't, I think if you think about it like this, if somebody has like three different people, designers to choose from, and you show your values and who you are and your personality, and the client then connects with your personality, they will choose you over the other people who don't show their personality, because like they'll vibe with you more and they'll know they'll get on with you, because it's not just about the end result, it's also about the experience they're going to have whilst working with you. So if you can find a way to show up like as yourself, I hate the word authentic. I feel like it's so overused and misunderstood in a lot of ways. But if you can just like show a bit of who you are, your background, your process, your values, like the right people will gravitate towards you.
I like it, and I agree. Even from my experience, for example, doing collaboration with someone or something, there might be someone more talented, but there's other person maybe slightly less talented, but we just enjoy working with them. They are
Exactly.
easier, more professional. It makes all the
That's
difference.
always an easier decision. And again, like most founders are so busy, like they want to choose the easiest option, right? And the easiest option is the one they can get along with, and they'll trust you more in that way. That was definitely my experience anyway, especially at the beginning, is I just like showed my personality. I had nothing to lose. So I just showed up as exactly who I am, and every single person that worked with me said that they connected with me because they really liked how I showed up online.
Yeah, I'm happy to hear that. And I think from my experience, because we are speaking now for the first time, as I see your presence, I like it. So I think great example for anyone listening.
I'm glad to still, I've still got it.
And Hannah, as we discussed before, the importance of community and the people on the platform, we are building a Rebel Design Club, right? Like the
Yeah.
community and the brand. So can you tell us more what you're building and maybe introduce it to the audience?
Yes, so it's still super new. I did technically launch an MVP last year around July. So at the moment, it's a education platform for designers looking to build their profile as a creator. So it's all about like adopting the creator mindset, figuring out what to post online to attract clients, but not just clients, but also other opportunities, because there's so much potential when you have obviously a personal brand, right? So it's just like helping and educating designers, and maybe even introducing them to a world of possibilities that maybe they hadn't even thought of before. At the moment, that's the stage it's in, but I've got a lot of big plans for it, which are still in the works. So this is still early days. Yeah, I'm hoping it'll
And
be much bigger.
of course, and now you said it publicly, now you told us more, so we'll need to be
Yeah.
accountable.
I know, I've got to be a counselor now. I can't let them down.
And what was your motivation to start something like it?
I think I've always had like that desire to help in me. Specifically, like I remember when in my first ever job, I worked at a game, so it's sort of like a gaming app company. It was my
Oh,
first
it's
ever
actually
in-house.
quite cool.
Yeah, yeah. I've got a bit of a gamey background.
Mhm.
But yeah, it was my first job. I worked it was a startup. It was super small, and I loved that job so much, and I went to my founder at the time, sorry, the CEO, and I pitched an idea for like an award program that would help designers get into the gaming industry. Obviously, there was like all these other details that meant why it was good for the business, all the etc. etc. But at the end of the day, it was basically an awards program. For me, it was to help designers get into the gaming industry, because I was watching a lot of my creative friends from university struggling to get work in the field that they wanted to. Always had like a bit of tenacity in me. So I was like trying really hard. And that's how I managed to get a job. Actually, it was also because of LinkedIn. But yeah, so I just really wanted to build something that would help designers. And that experience was so fulfilling to me. I was like going around the country, going to universities, talking to students, eventually
Wow.
like inviting them to the awards. They would submit their artwork and then we put on a whole exhibition. We invited loads of brands. So we had like Epic Games, Frame Store, who is like a really big
Yeah,
anime.
VFX studio.
Yeah. Yeah. So we
Oh
had
my
them involved
god.
and the
Wow.
winners got internships at these companies. And seeing that happen was so fulfilling. And I really wanted to like channel that legacy into Rebel
Mhm.
Design Club. So that's definitely the first time I ever had that experience, and I want to keep that up now with Rebel Design
This,
Club.
I'm very happy to hear that. Not only I was going to say that it must have been very rewarding for yourself, because if you are the person who actually helps students to find work, like to break into industries where it's quite challenging. But I was
Yeah,
going to say that at university I studied creative field as well, so I could see what you are saying even in what I studied, because honestly it was really hard. So I was like, if there was someone like that, that will be awesome. So it
yeah,
was really
yeah,
nice to
and
hear.
I'm sure you will agree. Like creative people are really undervalued a lot of the time, especially where in my background, and I speak a little bit about this online as well. Like if you're a working class person, like often you're encouraged to do something that's safe,
Mm.
like going into business or going into healthcare or like something that's like a typical career that's secure. And like this is from me, like shout out to my mom, she's lovely, but like she was worried when I decided to go and do a fine art degree. She was like, oh my god, what are you doing? So yeah, I mean it's just like creative avenues I feel like are looked down a lot at the beginning of the journey, but as soon as you're successful it's like, oh, you're the best thing in the world. But yeah, definitely. So I really want to support the people at the beginning of their journey and help them, especially in this new
It,
era of creative careers.
I agree, and of course, really nice. And I can imagine must have been also big, like a growing opportunity for yourself, because, as you said, going to university, speaking people. Oh my God, it must be quite bold and courageous, because it's not easy to do these things and learning along the way. So definitely, really well done.
Thank you.